it's your boy Olu here once again. Thank you for tuning in to another video on this channel. This is a Q&A video, and I remember I asked you guys to drop me a couple of questions, and I'll be answering those questions. So this is the purpose for this video. So the first question today is from XW. Great seeing a bunch of uploads recently. Your squat is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. Since you asked for some questions, what are the cues you use the most for squatting? So this is a very simple question. If I'm going to give you the most important cue or the cue I use the most for squatting, I would tell you is breathing and bracing. If you can perfect your breathing and bracing, the way your ability to move heavy weight in a very proficient manner, and your ability to move heavy weight in a way that the weight won't cave you in your abdominal area, and for you to be able to control the weight in such a good way, the breathing and bracing is the topmost cue I will give anybody out there, either an amateur, either at the intermediate level, even at the advanced level. If you can learn to breathe and brace properly, your lift will go higher. Like I said, there was a time when I was in Nigeria, I had to travel over to South Africa to train with some powerlifters back in 2015. And the first thing they pointed out to me was breathing and bracing. They didn't tell me how to place my feet. They didn't tell me how to hold on to the bar. But the first thing was breathe and brace. And that has been a game changer for me. So the most important cue for your squat that I'm going to give it to you is breathing and bracing. Thank you. Moving on to the second question. This question is from David Forbes. How much does training bench press carry over into strongman? For me, I would say there are lots of variations of bench press, but I think if you really want to be stronger or really need a bench press program that will carry over to your strongman training, I would say the incline bench press. Since there is no bench press competition in strongman, there's no reason. I don't know if you can do it for fun. You can train your flat bench press, but the most important variation of bench press that will help you or will carry over into your strongman training is the incline bench press. And you can throw in a little bit of close grip bench just to increase your tricep strength for that overhead press. But when I used to do a lot of overhead press, I throw in a lot of incline bench press, and that builds a lot of strength going into my overhead pressing. So do a lot of incline bench press if you want to focus on strongman. You don't need to worry yourself about the flat kind of bench. You can, even if you want to do that, you can do close grip bench. But the incline bench press will help you build your overhead pressing ability, strengthen your shoulder, your upper chest, and also work your tricep also. Thank you. Moving on to the third question. I like your YouTube handle. This question is from Half Past Time. Love is the answer. Absolutely. A question for you. How hard do I have to work out day to day? That's the first question. The second question is, how can I know what is too much or too little? So I'm going to pick out the first one. How hard do I have to work out day to day? My philosophy is you have to work out to the point that you have enough recovery to get you into your next workout. So I'm of the school of thought that you need to train hard, but don't put too much miles on your body in order for you to recover going into your next workout. Because if you beat up every time, that is going to hinder your progress. I think that answered that. How can I know what's too much or too little. So for me, I think you need to get a program that is channeled towards your goal. Maybe you want to do bodybuilding, you want to do powerlifting, you want to do weightlifting. So get a program that works best for you. Then you don't have to worry about how much you're doing, if it's little or much. Like I said earlier, don't put too much miles on your body. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to tell you not to work hard, but make sure you have enough room for recovery going into your next workout. Because if you're not recovered and you keep beating yourself up all the time, there won't be room for improvement. Thank you. Uncle Sam, where's my food? I think I'm hungry now. I'm very hungry, but we have to finish up. Moving on to the fourth question. This question is from Simon Padmore. Always awesome work, as always, Olu. Thank you so much, sir. Are you planning a collaboration with Brad Hobbig in the future? Absolutely. Brad is one of my favorite person. I respect him a lot. He has a lot of knowledge in the in the strength sports. I think he's still out of the country at the moment, but I know when he gets back, we have to get together. Most importantly, train together. We've been talking about it for a few months now, so that is one training session I'm looking out for, and I can't wait to do it. So once he's back in the country and he settles in, and we'll get together and work together. Thank you for that. Now moving on to the fifth question. This question is from Bright T. Here is a question for you. What are the best 3 to 5 assistant exercises you use for your squat and your deadlift? I break it into two for you. For my squat, this is one of the areas people don't really pay attention to. I like to walk my core. I'm not trying to get a six packs though, but I like to do variations to keep my core stronger, like planks, like weighted sit ups. Because if your core is not strong when you start squatting close to 700 pounds and above, there's no way, if you don't have a strong core, the weight will always, keep you moving around, and the weight will always, want to, be in control. So my first exercise for the squat, I'll tell you, because people don't really pay attention to, train your core, get a strong core. Then I'll tell you, I do a lot of I-bar pulse squat, because that enables me to get down in the hole, teach my body how to get down into that depth, and work out my quads also. So I-bar pulse squat. Then I would say my third assistant exercise would be the good mornings with the SSB. Build your posterior chain and your erectors, your glutes and your hamstrings. So train your core, do some I-bar pulse squat, at least like 2 seconds at the depth position. I try to go ass to grass on my pulse squat at a high bar, because that allows me to get comfortable in the hole, and I like to use the SSB for my good mornings. Then moving on to the deadlift, my first assistant exercise would be the RDLs. That's the Romanian deadlift. That also helps you with, because I've been doing that a lot, because I'm always slow at my lockout points. Then I would say hip thrust, because that works your glutes and try to improve your hinge at that lockout point. And my third exercise would be the hyper extension. Also, that concentrate also in that your glutes and your hamstrings. So I think that answers that. Thank you for asking that question. I really like that question. So moving on to the sixth question from Seamus Mark Goldrick. Does your strength come into play with your job? If so, does work ever hurt your energy in the gym? my strength doesn't really come into play with my job because I don't do my job doesn't require any physical activities. I sit by the desk all day, and that answers the first question. But the disadvantage is the second part of the question. It said, "Does work ever out your energy in the job?" I would say I'm not really always tired going into the gym after a long day, especially because sitting by the decks all day can put a lot of pressure in your lower back. That's the only challenge I have. So I address that by taking a lot of walks on days I don't train. A lot of walks means like maybe like 20 to 30 minutes walk whenever I get back from work. But now that it's getting cold, I don't want to get sick, so I just I just walk around my living room for like 20 minutes. It's boring. I just put on my earpiece and my headset, and just keep perambulating in my living room, just to release the pressure on my lower back. Then I stretch. I do a lot of stuff just to release that pressure off my lower back. I hope that answers that question. Thank you. Moving on to the last question for today and the seventh question. This is from Samuel Height. How did you meet Brian Osru? That's the question. And also, he said, keep up the good work. You're an inspiration, man. Thank you so much, sir. That means a lot to me. I came into the United States in 2016 just to visit my friend in Utah called Brian Onseka. So I was hanging out with them for like a week, and I was supposed to come down to Maryland to visit my aunt. So I needed a place to train while I'll be staying in Maryland for the next 2.5 months before I return back to Nigeria then. And I needed a gym to train while I'm staying for the vacation. So Van Hatfield and some other guy gave me a guy named Andy Dex. I think his name is Andy Deck, I remember. So I came into Maryland, I reached out to Andy Deck, but there's a long distance between where I was staying and where Andy Deck's gym was. So it was like, oh, I have another person that you can train with, and he gave me Brian also. He said Brian's gym was around, it was like just 15 minutes away from where I would be staying. So and I reached out to Brian, and that's how we got to meet, and it's all everything is all history now, and we've been good brothers, we've been good friends, and he's done a lot for me. I've been training at his gym since I came back into the United States, and we've been family. And big shout out to Brian. I love you. Thank you for all you've been doing for me, and I appreciate you a lot. So I think this comes to the end of the question and answer video. I want to say big shout out to Uncle Sam, the only Uncle Sam I have in the United States. Thank you for everything you've been doing. Sam is the brain behind my all this YouTube editing for the past I think the past 2 videos or 3 videos, and thank you so much, brother. And I want to say thank you to everyone that watched, and if you're a new person watching, there's a subscribe button below. Just click it, and so you can see more content. I love you all. Stay strong until I catch you again. Once again, I love you.